The man rolled down the car window, stuck his hand out to test the thickness of the soil, but a large amount of mud poured in through the window, frightening him into quickly closing it. In just 1 minute, mud had covered his whole body. Before he could catch his breath, the sunroof suddenly shattered. The man quickly took out tape, trying to use it to seal the glass, but against tons of pressure, this thin tape was completely useless. In the critical moment, the man noticed the steering wheel lock under the seat. He hurried to pull the lock open, and fixed it on both sides of the sunroof. This temporarily blocked the mud that kept sinking. The man let out a long sigh of relief. He picked up a bottle of water casually, and didn't stop until he'd almost finished it, but thinking he didn't know when he'd be rescued, he might as well drink all the water. Then he took out his phone, preparing to make a distress call. No matter how he changed his position, there was not a single bar of signal in the car. The unwilling man turned on the car radio, but after tuning it for a long time, only static came from it. Now he was finally in despair. He slumped helplessly in the chair. At this moment, he spotted the gift he'd prepared for his wife. Unwilling to accept such an ending, he carefully went to the back seat, gathering all usable tools, hoping they would help him escape. However, none of them seemed useful. As he worried about this, water began seeping through the crack in the sunroof. The man quickly leaned over, sucking wildly with his mouth, but this efficiency was really too low. So he took out a bank card, folding it into the shape of a funnel, and inserting it into a plastic bottle, making a simple device. Soon, he collected a full bottle of water. The drinking water problem was solved. Next was how to get fresh air. So he removed an iron pipe, poking upward through the sunroof. If it successfully reached the ground, maybe he could still be rescued. However, the mud flowing out of the pipe shattered his illusion. He quickly found a newspaper to block it, then drilled a hole in the bottle cap, tying a knot with hemp rope and threading it through the cap. The problem of mud backflow was solved. The man inserted the iron pipe into the hole again, starting to push upward hard, watching as both iron pipes were used up, but still not reaching the ground. It showed how deeply the man was buried. As the friction grew greater, the third iron pipe just wouldn't push up. In desperation, he took out the jack. Soon the jack also reached its limit. He had to put a towel on his shoulder, gritting his teeth against the pain and pushing upward. The iron pipe finally broke through the soil. He quickly poked upward with the wire, and this time it finally worked. The man quickly leaned over to look. There was finally light in the iron pipe. The man cut open the seal's belly and stuck his frostbitten feet inside. Then he heated the seal fat and used gauze covered in the fat to gently apply it to his feet. After doing all this, the man set off on his journey again. He walked for an unknown length of time until he saw a tree. This meant there must be a forest nearby. He ran over quickly and hugged the tree in great excitement. Having seen hope, the man regained his fighting spirit. That night he built a fire, but was woken up by a strange sound. It turned out to be two poachers. You see, in the wild, the most dangerous thing isn't animals, but humans. Only then did the man put down his pistol. The two kindly invited him to stay with them for the night and also warned him that a blizzard would come the next day. But the man refused. The hunters had no choice but to leave. The next morning, the blizzard arrived as expected. Hail pelted down on his body. Having already endured so much suffering in the prisoner of war camp, he could no longer hold on. Suddenly a tree was blown down and happened to hit the man. Just at that moment, the hunters from the previous night appeared again. They rescued him, and so the three traveled together. By the time they passed through the forest, it was spring. The man judged from the map that he had already walked 4,000 kilometers, but the distance from here to his home was still twice that length. But he didn't give up because he always believed his wife was still waiting for him. One day they encountered a rapid current. The man struggled to row the oars, trying to keep balance, but the current grew faster and faster. The fat man accidentally fell into the water and hit his head on a rock. The man jumped in without hesitation, risking his life to drag the fat man to the shore. But the other hunter, left alone on a raft with no other option, they had to first find a place to settle down. After resting and recuperating, the two set off again. Another winter came. The fat man could no longer walk. The man kindly offered to carry his luggage, but was misunderstood as trying to steal gold. The man was hit and fell down the hillside. How sinister human nature can be. He didn't know how long it had been when he woke up from his unconsciousness, only to see a pack of wolves running towards him from a distance. He had no time to think and instinctively climbed up a tree. As the wild wolves kept biting the tree couldn't hold on any longer. The moment he fell to the ground, a burst of gunfire rang out. All the wolves were killed. This time he met kind people. Under the careful care of the tribe leader, he recovered quickly. Just as he was secretly rejoicing, bad news came. The Soviet army had started searching in the nearby area to avoid getting the tribe involved. The man set off on the road to escape again. Before leaving, the villagers also gave him a dog. Now the question is, do you think he can get home safely?